back. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Welcome back to Boomer Life on Valentine's Day. Beds are burning? Well, it's a little early in the day for that, isn't it? But what the heck? I like a song full of good intentions.
Well,
It's Sterling Fox along with Dave Temlett and Terry Harder from Innovative Sleep Solutions down there at 3033 King George Boulevard in South Surrey, White Rock. We're talking with the sleep solution experts. And we just had one of my coworkers, Todd Simmons, in a few minutes ago talking about his recent sleep experiment with coming down to the store and having a look around and seeing all the products and, of course, testing all of those mattresses and ending up with a lot of good information and making a decision on buying a product. He mentioned, Terry, that he had bought a latex mattress, a queen-size latex mattress. And I was hoping that you could take a moment or two, because a lot of what you do on this program is teach us about sleep products. So when we show up and it's our turn to buy, we have a little bit of a clue as to what we're talking about. What's the difference, Terry, between the kind of latex mattress that Todd and Christine just bought versus something called MemoryFoam? Or are they the same thing?
No, definitely quite a bit different in a lot of respects, Sterling. And one thing to keep in mind, and one question we try and ask is, do you like to sleep on a bed or do you like to sleep in a bed? Because with MemoryFoam, you sleep in the bed. And although they are reasonably effective for pressure point relief benefits on particularly organic latex and certified organic latex being the top of the line of it, you actually get orthopedically correct support with organic latex.
And that's the difference.
And that's a huge difference. And Dave mentioned the hysteresis factor.
This is the rolling over business, right?
Yes, very high hysteresis in the MemoryFoam.
So it's difficult sleeping on a
very,
mattress?
Very difficult, or
more difficult than it is. Okay.
Exactly. And one important point: a lot of us keep our window open at night.
Yes.
And so do I. MemoryFoam is actually heat sensitive. So if your room's cold, the bed is very hard until your body heat softens the bed up.
Okay.
Now, of course, for me and for a lot of us, we like to go to bed and actually try and get to sleep right away. And quite often we're on that kind of product. It takes a while for it to be soft enough for it to mold to our hips and shoulders.
Interesting.
It's very different in how it works. Plus, again, and I refer back to Dave, he's careful to mention the breathability differences between the two. You sleep very hot on MemoryFoam. So the problem with that is, and you'll notice last night if you're on your spring bed with even polyurethane foam, is you woke up to kick the covers off of your legs to find a cold spot in the end of the bed. We all do it.
I do, yeah.
But then what happens is before we get into our restorative sleep, we actually wake up again because now we're cold.
And pull the cover back up. Yes.
And all night long we're doing that. It really has a negative impact on our sleep, and we develop what we call a sleep deficit. And we mentioned in the previous show, being a sleep counselor, is that the truth is there is no overdraft protection with sleep, in that it's very hard to ever recoup that sleep.
So that hot cold business that we do with the throwing the cover off and then rolling over and coming a half an hour, you got to cover yourself back up. That all has to do, Terry, as much with the breathability of the mattress you're sleeping on as any other sleep idiosyncrasies you might have?
Absolutely, Sterling. And that's the most important consideration for people on latex. We've got a lot of, let's face it, we have people at a certain age, menopausal women, people on medications that sleep particularly warm, people with all sorts of ailments. That breathability is very important. That people don't even realize how much of a negative impact that can have on our sleep.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people, we recommend at least you try it and consider it. And just on an off note, again, we don't want anybody, we're careful that we spend as much time with the customer that's spending $500 as it is $5,000. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. We have all the price points, but we still try and steer you into making an investment. That's the big point.
Invest in your rest is the bottom line, and it's your job, Dave, to just sort of guide us to the proper investment to maximize that those rest moments that we get every day.
Well, absolutely, and furthermore, it's not unlike any other product out in the marketplace. You get what you pay for. You absolutely do. So, it takes a little bit of time to really research and understand what it is that you're ending up with. I wouldn't just go into any local retailer and purchase the first or second mattress that they're showing you.
Well, Terry, you were telling us a story during the break about someone who had done just that, and a friend of a friend said, "Wait a second, why did you go see my friends at Innovative Sleep Solutions?"
Exactly. The lady had called in because she was recommended because the lady was very satisfied, incidentally, with the organic latex mattress.
Okay.
She says to us, "Well, Terry, I just purchased from a big box retailer for $799 some memory foam, and it didn't breathe very well." She concurred everything we talk about in the show. She said, "My back problem, I wasn't feeling like I was being supported." I explained that we've talked in previous shows. You put a bug in that particular type of foam from China, and the bug dies within a couple of minutes. So there's tremendous amounts of off-gassing and so on, which we didn't even get to mention about the memory foam. She said now the salesperson, and in the salesperson's defense, that's all they have to offer, and that's how they're trained, that this is the end-all be-all. So I don't get me wrong, I believe they have the very best of intentions, but at the same time, they now are recommending another memory foam mattress, another $800 more money to invest, and consequently, small little cones that are said are very good for back support, and also
but they're not,
and they're potentially may not. Although I phoned a salesperson there, and I got the straight goods from us, and I trust the guy again has the best of intention. He says that actually does breathe quite well, Terry, and he says that actually does give reasonable back support. He was careful to use the word reasonable,
right? But
he still said the bed has a lifespan of 5 to 6 years. So again, now the lady has $1,500 invested in a queen size mattress only. For not that much more, she could have invested in an organic latex mattress that lasted her, to be on the safe side, the warranty's 25 years, the average lifespan is 30, so we're careful to downplay that.
Right.
20 years she could have had it. So it was very unfortunate. I was very thrilled that she would call me and trust that her friend recommended it to call me, but a little disappointed that we didn't see her, because we could have done it right the first time for effectively less money.
Sterling, I'd like to tell you a quick little story too about a customer I had in the store last summer, elderly couple that are in South Surrey. They came in and he wanted the best quality product that we carried, and the thing is, the best quality is not always the highest price.
Good. Yep. Good point.
Okay.
Right.
So the latex is kind of, as a premium quality product, I just want to point out the certified organic latex is actually somewhat mid-range, believe it or not.
Okay.
So it's an upper line, top of the quality product that's going to give you the best return on investment over the longevity of the bed. But you're probably looking at about $2,400 ballpark for a queen size mattress and box spring, compared to if you're looking at some of the magnetic mattresses, they're about $3,500.
Okay.
And there's other products in the marketplace that go up even higher price point than that. So
this guy comes in and says, "I want the best you got."
He wants the best you got. So
Okay.
then we laid him down on he and his wife on all the different mattresses, and then he just didn't think he wanted to spend that kind of money. Well, he came in a couple of weeks later, and he was looking at a different size, but he still liked what he looked at the latex bed. So now he's thinking about maybe going for king size. Well, then I didn't hear back from him for several months, and he came back in actually about a month ago, and it turns out that they went to another company out in the marketplace, and they bought a mattress for $499, and they absolutely hate it. They're past their comfort exchange, and he came back in and he bought the original product that he was looking at, which was the latex bed.
Right.
And he said, I should have done this in the first place. Now I've wasted $500.
I was just going to say, a $500 error in judgment later.
Well, exactly.
Well, he's lucky it was only $500. Really, there are certainly more expensive, inferior quality products.
Well,
aren't there?
that's right. And the company he ended up buying from only had a 30-day comfort guarantee, while ours is 120. So you've got 4 months from the day that it's delivered to your home to make sure it's the right feel for you. And if it's not, then you can simply exchange it. It's that easy.
But you find that a lot. People come into the store after hearing about you, maybe hearing us on the radio, or in the case of the example you had, Terry, someone who is a friend of a friend who's a customer, this sort of thing. So you find people coming into the store fairly regularly having bought the wrong product last time they were out and being quite determined not to make that mistake again.
Exactly right.
So how do you handle that? Well, I just bought this thing. The case of this fellow who came in, bought a product that he just wasn't happy with, and he wasn't going to stick with that very long at all.
No.
Some people just sort of, well, yeah, I paid all this money. I guess I'm just going to have to live with it for a while, and they do, and it's a most uncomfortable period of their lives.
Well, it really is, and it, you know, was an expensive mistake for the gentleman as well, because now he ended up with the best of the best at really $500 more than what we sell them for, and not because that's what we sold it to him for, but because the mistake he made buying from the other retailer a lower grade product.
Right. Terry, need to take a break. Just before we do, I bought a Kebeza. Carol and I bought a Kebeza, a queen-size Kebeza recently. Love it. Just love it. Is the mattress, I have the 7-inch double-sided mattress. Is that a latex mattress?
No, that is actually, but important as we talk about, Certipure, which means no ozone depleters, no formaldehyde, heavy metal, mercury, leads, PDBEs, VOCs, low VOCs. So consequently, it's been well tested for a lot of the negative health impacts that a lot of foam, like I referred to earlier from Asia, have in it. So at least we're confident that you have the best chance at a healthier foam, but it still is memory foam.
Oh, interesting stuff. Okay.
Yep. You could have got latex, but the latex mattress was, you know,
A few hundred
dollars more, and most people, because they're not on it every night.
Well, that's true. It's the guest pad.
Yeah, they purchase that, and we have people. We've never had one person lay on that mattress and ever say it wasn't comfortable.
Well, it's certainly that.
Certainly, we're not suggesting memory foam quite often isn't comfortable for people.
Well, I can certainly testify to the comfort quotient in that Kebeza. And we haven't even talked about the cabinet beds and desks. So let's take a break. Let Dwayne take care of some biz here for us, and we'll come back with lots more with our sleep solution experts from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock at 3033 King George Boulevard. We're back with Dave and Terry and more on Boomer Life.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.